Welcome back. Now we're into the home stretch, and guess what? Our guest of the week is from Ogun State. So he was just palling with the First Lady of Ogun State. He's from Abeokuta in Ogun State, and he attended Okeono United Primary School.
Osco.
Where is that?
In Abeokuta.
Before he went to Abeokuta Grammar School.
Osco.
I mean, it's like patriotism. And he holds a diploma in art and technique of film from the London International Film School. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Tunde Kelani.
Yes, great. Thank you. It's great for me to be here. And it's very exciting for me to be on channel television, because you occupy that space where you could have been on the equator, for instance, because I know, that you could be working in channels and then go have your breakfast in Ogun State and then come back to Lagos State. In other words, you could buy your food in Ogun State and you can come and eat it in
Lagos State. Smack in the middle. We're smack in the middle.
And it's very interesting because I was born in Lagos, but of course my parents are from Ogun State, so I occupy that unique position this morning where I'm between the two.
You can't talk cinematography in Nigeria without mentioning the name of Tunde Kelani. He's one of the trailblazers in this area, and it's my singular honor to have him in the studio and be able to actually interview him this morning. If you have heard of such movies as Tioluwani
Ile.
Ile.
Yes.
Then Ayoni Mofe.
Yes, that's right.
Koshegbe, Oleku, all those and many more, they're all Tunde Kelani.
Yes, and I need to point out that the cinematography aspect of it takes a very short time, but the actual production can take longer than that. So that means that I'm involved on various levels. So I'm just not a cinematographer, but I like to say that I'm a filmmaker, because I get to use, I'm used to all the complex process of making films.
And you have been there forever.
For a long time.
So you have a lot of experience. How would you describe your movie industry in Nigeria? People have said that we don't even produce movies in Nigeria because we're still using those video cameras and all that.
The only way, it doesn't matter because, we are talking about the aspect of technology. Films are not going to be made in any other thing but in digital, because we are in that era. We're in a knowledge era, and we are solidly in the digital era. So forget about the analog, cumbersome, chemical process, of making movies. See, we're in another era completely.
But you also have experience in celluloid, haven't you?
No, because, look, I just need to say, my career, spans about 40 years. And it happened at the time, I've been mentored and tutored by the greatest African broadcast managers you can think of, and Tejuleye, with Dele Maduka, Yogunade, and all those great people. You understand? So, and at that time, when we provided footages for use on television, there was no video at all. So we worked in celluloid, and every station had a dedicated laboratory on the station where we processed the film and then fed this into the television chain. So I've worked in all known technologies of making motion pictures.
Actually, let's use that as opportunity because a number of people hear the name Tunde Kelani and they only think of mainframe as if you came from absolutely nowhere and just got into mainframe and he's this man that makes fantastic Yoruba movies. Tell us your history, starting from...
Well, it could take...
No, we just like a summary.
When you came back, when you came back from getting your qualification in London.
Yeah, forget about the qualification. I didn't need the qualification. What I went to London, was to be exposed to the theory, of everything we do.
Oh, you
I was in safe hands because I had been trained at the former Western Nigerian Television, where I had, WNTV, WNBS. And then in NBC TV in Channel 10. And so I knew people who mentored me, and I was on the way. They told me I was good, and they told me I probably didn't need anything else. But to see, my vision was somewhere else because I've seen the cinema, on big screens in Central Cinema, Regal Cinema, Odeon Cinema, Casino Cinema, Metro, Rialto, Plaza, Roxy, and suddenly everything came together for me. I started after secondary school as an apprentice photographer because I just wanted to be a photographer. But then, now look at the combination of the way I grew up, in the community at Abeokuta, and then exposed to the folklore, Yoruba literature, Yoruba philosophy, Yoruba spirituality, processions, festivals, and then Yoruba literature, and then comparative all other literature. And then suddenly I have this vast store of stories in my head that I wanted to tell. So I decided to choose the medium of cinema to tell these stories, and I was going to go at any length to acquire this know-how. And having seen what we did for television on a box wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to do those films that like the Lawrence of Arabia, like Ten Commandments, like Spartacus, like all those great movies. So I said I had to find the secrets, so I had to go to London Film School, 2 years. And once I got the know-how, and I said yes, I rushed back home immediately. I didn't wait. And I come back and I said, forget it, because I didn't want in any way my cultural experience to be diluted, so I came back and went straight into the industry.
Now, I still don't want you to get away with not answering that question, because a number of people, yes, some people who are old enough will know you from WNBC, WNTV days. Oh yeah, we remember that name. But beyond that, where else have you worked? Just a little chronology of your history. Because
so I went to television, worked in television after my photography apprenticeship in Lagos, and then went to London Film School, came back, did some stints at the NTA, and for about 2 years, and I left, to become independent filmmaker. And I partnered with my friend Wale Fanu. We started this company, Cinecraft, in Surulere, and it's still there. Wale is still doing that. We provided technical expertise, to independent producers, and we give technical backing to most of the independent films, most of the traveling theater. So as you know, they had gone into film, they gone on stage, put stage on wheels, and then went into television and went to make film. So, we, supplied, this technical. And then again, I got mentored again by greats like Hubert Ogunde, Dr. Labalogun, and then worked with